running clock on the scoreboard.
There is a running clock on the scoreboard, but those guys decided to add record text in, which has made the clock very small, and that can't be changed, let's say.
Take your marks.
What we'll do is come in with the finalists.
Robertson no log out. Tail up the second spot, Balweary swimmer, but very good swim at the front of the field there. Meldrum Academy, Sophie Bain, she really took that out strong.
Oh yeah, it was a really brave way to go about it, especially in a 200 breaststroke that sometimes you need to hold a bit more length, but she certainly just took it on. And again, that's when you're not in one of those centre lanes with everyone watching you. You've maybe just got to try and catch people out a wee bit tactically, and that certainly worked for Sophie today.
You're very happy medalist there. And move on to the next age group presentation now, which is the girls 15-16 years 200 breaststroke. Swimmers making their way out here. Bronze medalist. Very happy, smiley bronze medalist there from Ulster Emma McPartland. Another great race here it was at the front. Ellie Riley, Royal High School silver medalist this time. But Clyde Views, Amy Watson taking the gold medal. Great swim from Amy Watson, really strong at the very closing stages of that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's down to making sure that you're getting yourself into the race and giving yourself an opportunity to come back at someone like Ellie Riley, who has been really strong in her age, especially on 100 and 200 breast over the past few years.
Excellent swim there from Watson. Shorter of all the medalists there.
Yeah, and it just shows you that size really isn't everything when it comes to it. It's how you can execute the skills, how you can execute the technique. Certainly you'll see a difference in height between Yvonne and Katie, just as they're walking onto the podium there. But again, you've got to use your own body shape, your own body type to your advantage and maximise what you do, not necessarily always looking at other people.
Good example of that, she said there. Erin Snow from Lanark Grammar getting the bronze medal. Swim from her. Katie Robertson, silver this time for Katie. It's a good job. Yvonne Brown's got that little bit of a step, taking her just about up to the height of Katie Robertson, not quite.
Yeah, but you know, she's made a lot of, she's grew quite a bit in the last 6 months as well. But again, she's just gets down to dedication, hard work, and being able to work at the things that people don't necessarily want to work hard at. You know, especially those starts and turns where being slightly smaller, it can be a more difficult one, especially in breaststroke. But certainly she's making the right pathway to hopefully some more success in the future.
Well, it was a superb swim there from Yvonne Brown, getting in ahead of Katie Robertson. Against each other a few years now, those two. Yvonne Brown getting the better of Katie Robertson today. She's performed pretty well at the schools, Yvonne Brown, for the last couple of years. I remember her last year.
Yeah, she has, and it's only really since last year, early January, that she started to come through and actually win those medals at national level, and above. To be honest, she's won a medal at the British last summer as well. So, yeah, it's just good to see, and that's what we were talking about earlier in the programme, about that not everyone can start and follow that exact pathway from the youngest age and come through all the levels, but certainly people can pop up as they grow at different rates and they progress at different rates.
On to the boys' events now, 13-14 years. 200 metres individual medley. Alex Robin from Hutchison up there at the top in lane 0. Adam Younger from St Andrews goes in lane number 1. Luke Hornsey from Ross High in lane number 2. Robbie Stewart from Lourdes in lane number 3. Jacob Wood from Mills in lane number 4. Mika Van Blair from Murchison in 5. Scott Fleming from Straven in 6. Cameron Shaw from Larbert High in 7. 2 Finleys in 8 and 9. Finlay Davis from Pennycook High School in 8. And Finlay Club from Hazelhead in lane number 9. Good start there from St Andrews swimmer Adam Younger in lane number 1. danger all over the pool here. Lane number 4 going well. Jacob Wood right down at the bottom. Finlay Club from Hazelhead. We've spread about here again. 2 heats in this one. Be the fastest 3 times from the 2 heats will claim the medal. So this is heat declared. It's with all the events with the exception of the 12 years and under. Good start, halfway leader Jacob Wood from Mills, but good stuff from the swimmers in the outside lanes here, Derek.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's about using, again, when it's a medley and you're covering all 4 strokes, if you've got 4 really good strokes, then you're going to perform really well. But if you've not necessarily got good all 4 strokes, you've got to make the most of the strokes that are positive for you, and if that means getting out early so that you can combat that for, say, breaststroke like we've got, then you've got to make the most of that for yourself. But certainly Jacob Wood is looking really strong at the moment. He looks to, that's 3 really strong strokes so far. We'll see if he can bring this home in freestyle as well.
Well, breaststroke quite often where some of the breaststroke specialists can make a move, or some of the other swimmers can lose ground, but it hasn't happened to Jacob Wood. Luke Hornsey has come through very strongly though, and Mika van Blert as well. Come through into 2nd and 3rd spot. Finlay Club still going well in the outside lane. Wonder if he can hold on for a position here. Alex Robin coming through as well right at the top, but it does look like Jacob Wood coming in to a little bit of a threat now from Luke Hornsey. Jacob Wood, I think, is going to take this one. Just about going to hold off the challenge from Hornsey in 2:33.83 for Jacob Wood. So good swim there, and that's faster than his entry time. So as you said, Derek, entry times are likely to be short course times, so that's an excellent swim from Jacob Wood.
Yeah, absolutely, and if you can convert that quicker, then, and yes, granted it's before Christmas and you've had some training under your belt to now, but it's still hard to convert that, especially over a 200 metre event. Just interesting to watch there how strong Luke Hornsey was in that second 100. He's a 13-year-old within this event, so be interesting to see where he's at in this double-banded age group for next year.
Yeah, of course, some of the swimmers have another bite of the cherry as they come back. The younger ones in the age groups, the 13-14 years age group, and the man in pole position in this one is one of those 13-year-olds. That's Jake Gibson from Fraserburgh Academy. Full lineup for the second heat: Nathan Campbell from Larbert High in 0, James English from Watson's in 1, Owen Carroll from Strathallan in 2, David Kernahan from Gillespie's in lane number 3, Jake Gibson from Fraserburgh Academy in 4, William Storer from Bankery in 5, Matthew McMillan from Glenwood goes in lane number 6, Fraser Baird and Angus Johnson both from Beclair, it goes in lane number 7 and 8, Connor Stewart from McLaren High in lane number 9. So 2 13-year-olds in this one: Jake Gibson from Fraserburgh Academy, Matthew McMillan from Glenwood go in 4 and 6. Glenwood, my old high school.
Is that right?
It is, yes.
Yeah, is that over Glenroth this way?
Glenrothis,
yeah,
that's correct. Matthew McMillan used to swim with his dad.
Yeah, I know his dad. Very well, Barry. Barry's a coach with Carnegie, so I know him pretty well. Certainly a very lively character on the poolside.
McMillan struggling a bit in the early stages here, but into the lead. It looks like it's going to be a very, very close contest. 4 swimmers all in a row here, and again, as we said, this is a heat declared winner. No second chance for anyone, no finals to look forward to for these ones. This is it for this 200 metres individual medley, and what a contest that we have here. Owen Carroll, David Kernahan, Jake Gibson and William Storer, these 4 swimmers all in contention here as they come up to the final turn.
Yeah, and I think this is a crucial point for where your skills come involved, and can you come off that wall in freestyle and really attack to try and create those gaps, especially those two boys there up in lanes 2 and 3.
Yeah, great turn there from David Kernahan from Gillespie's has taken him into the lead. Jake Gibson trying to come back with that red cap there. Owen Carroll still holding on to second place. It looks like Kernahan might well have this one, but Jake Gibson is giving it a real good go here as they go into the last 15, but it looks like David Kernahan from Gillespie's is going to come home here and just about going to hold on to take the gold medal here in the 200 medley. It is David Kernahan from Gillespie's. He takes it in 2:27.26, Another excellent time there for the young man. Jake Gibson will be second, and William Storer in third place, just ahead of Owen Carroll. But the top three there, Kernahan, Gibson and Storer.
Yeah, and again, to watch where William Storer came from, at 30 metres to go, I wouldn't have put him in a bronze medal position, but he had a really strong finish there.
Well, David Kernahan, what an excellent swim that was from him. Jake Gibson, the young man, 13-year-old, showing his class there to come through for silver. He looked like he was going to challenge for a little moment there, but didn't quite have the pace. Kernahan swam it well.
Yeah, again, I think it comes back down to that breaststroke leg and then get into freestyle. David Kernahan came off the wall really strong and made sure when Jake Gibson's still swimming breaststroke, he's maximising the gap that he can create for himself.
Boys, 15, 16 years, first heat underway here. Looks like we are missing a swimmer in the centre lane here. We have Luke Charles from Bankery in lane number 0. We have Logan Ward from Robert Gordon's in 1. Stuart Andrews from Glasgow Academy in lane 2. Lucas Weir from Nairn in lane number 3. We have an empty lane in lane number 4. Jack McGill goes in 5 for Watson's. Harris Harley from Arbroath High School in 6. Oleg Smith from St Mungo's in 7. Brodie Hood from Johnson High School in 8. And Jack Murphy from Holy Cross down there in lane number 9. Jack McGill is the man in position at the halfway point. 109.24 for Jack. And Stuart Andrews, the only other man under the 110 mark, up there in lane number 2. Again, the breaststroke, Derek, could this be vital?
Yeah, I think it's looking that already. It definitely separates the field when you're in a medley swim. Those that need to get out quick to maximise the use of their breaststroke if it's not as strong, and certainly those, if you're already at the front and you've got a decent breaststroke, you can get out there. And Jack McGill's looking really strong on that. He's holding nice length, making the most of his glide each time, and he's going to be spot on this wall for getting round the wall quickly as well. It's a really nice turn there from Jack McGill. Again, you've got to come off. That's really strong off the wall. That's really nice, and he's just going to make sure he can get this 200 medley first heat wrapped up.
He certainly burst into the front there. He's given himself clear water between him and the second place swimmer. Looks like it is Stuart Andrews right up there in lane number 2, but it is going to be Jack McGill here. Check the time. We saw some very good times from 13, 14 years age group, and Jack McGill is going to be in here too far off his entry time, 2:26.78 for Jack McGill. So we will take that first heat. That will be the target for the heat to come. It was Stuart Andrews in second under the 2:30 mark, just about almost exactly the same as his entry time, 2/100ths of a difference. And in third spot was Harris Harley in 2:31.97. There is the results here. Jack McGill taking that one comfortably in the end.
Yeah, absolutely, but I think that comes down to executing his race plan really well. He looked as if he just went in there to take it on, had a real nice control through his backstroke, as we were talking about that length on breaststroke, but then really maximising the use of that breaststroke to freestyle turn to make sure he could wrap up the heat comfortably.
And that breaststroke to freestyle turn, always very important. If you've got a little bit of a lead, you know, and you can get out of that turn quickly, you're on freestyle and your competitors are still doing breaststroke,
yeah,
slow stroke.
Absolutely, and obviously if we had to rank those strokes in order in general for people in terms of speed, we would have breaststroke being the slowest and freestyle being the fastest. Not in every case, but in certainly most cases that happens. So if you can maximise that and someone's still swimming breaststroke and you're able to be on freestyle, you've got to make the most of that.
Well, certainly Jack McGill did that in the previous heat. On to second and final heat here. We have Archie Dixon from Glasgow School of Sport in lane 0, Cameron Leckie from Hamilton in lane number 1, Ben Galloway from William Wood in 2, Jake Kirkham from Grangemouth in 3, Angus Allison from Broughton High School in 4, Jamie McGregor, Perth High School in 5, Sam Chittleborough from Edinburgh Academy goes in lane number 6, Murray Pritchard from Kinross High School in 7, Daniel Murray, Lady St Patrick in 8, and Ewan Curry from Ellen Academy in lane number 9. Fraser, Angus Allison from Broughton High School there in lane number 4, Jamie McGregor in lane number 5. They look like they are going to fight this one out. Angus Allison and Jamie McGregor. Angus Allison going really well there in lane number 4. That red cap, familiar red cap there for Angus Allison.
Yeah, absolutely, and we know Angus is a really strong breaststroker, so I'm not surprised at all to see him moving ahead of Jamie here. And he'll need to make the most of this turn because Jamie's a really strong freestyler to make sure that he can stay ahead. But Angus isn't leaving anything to chance here at all, and he's made sure he's made that break. And we were talking about moving from that slowest stroke to the quickest stroke. Angus looks really, really good here, looks really strong. Again, he's one of those swimmers that was out in Geneva with the Scottish Youth Squad last week, along with Jamie as well, actually. So no surprise to see these two young lads at the front.
Well, comfortable win it will be for Angus Allison in 2:13.03. Jamie McGregor taking that second spot there, and it is third spot to Sam Chittleborough, but 2:13.03. Well, it was pretty close as they came to the end of that breaststroke, but really just swimming away from Jamie McGregor in that freestyle. He looked really strong on the freestyle there.
Yeah, he did, and it's really important, and it's good for any swimmer that's out there, no matter what age, to see some good examples of that from Angus and coming off and getting a really high stroke rate on freestyle, and getting away and making that as comfortable as he can for himself, because he'll know Jamie from racing against him often that Jamie's a strong freestyler as well, and you've got to know what the strengths and weaknesses of your opponents are as well.
Boys 17, 19 years are underway. Bit of a depleted field here. Really, we have 3 swimmers not starting, so it's just 7 swimmers taking the start here. We have Ryan Anderson, Gail in lane number 0, Sam Sharkey from Clydeview in 1, Jonathan Wong from Strathallan in 2, Ian Rose and Archie Goodburn in 3 and 4 from Erskine Stewart, Rory Dixon from Garnock Academy in 5, Evan Clark from Auchenharvey goes in lane number 6. We talked earlier, Derek, about the record holders. We saw the last 2 record, well, the last event was, record holder was Mark Sharanek from Beauty in the 15-16 years. The holder of this record, 17-19 years, is Dan Wallace.
Yeah, and I'm pretty certain that Archie will be trying to take this record on. We know of Archie's calibre in terms of all the things he's done for British teams and winning international medals and so on. So it'll be really interesting to see if Archie can take this on, and being out under 60 seconds there is certainly on the right track to taking this record down.
The interesting thing about the records that we have today at the schools, they're meet records, so this is the only time that he can challenge this record. He's one chance in the year where he's got to write his name in the record.
Yeah, absolutely, and as you can see, some of those names that were rhyming off between Hannah Miley, Stephen Milne, Mark Sharanek, Dan Wallace, all 4 of those competed in Gold Coast at the Commonwealth Games in 2018 as well, so it shows where if you can set one of these records, what potential you might have for the future.
Well, here comes Archie Goodburn now. He looks like he's going to claim this gold medal by a street here, but can he claim the record? It stands at 207.05. It's held by Dan Wallace. Are we going to see another name on the record books? It looks like we are. Archie Goodburn takes it, and he takes that new Scottish Schools record in a time of 205.75. The old record has gone by over a second. Great swim there. Archie Goodburn is the champion.
Yeah, that a terrific swim from Archie there, and it's interesting when you look at that he's taken down a record of Dan Wallace, who, if you take from 2014, won a gold in the 400 IM. So it sends a positive message out there, and we know what potential Archie has for the future, and we want to see him kick on for that. But it's always good when you get one chance a year to take some of these records down, that you've got to go and take it down.
Well done, Archie Goodburn. She certainly took that record down. by a long way, over a second there, and she said Dan Wallace won the Commonwealth Games title in the 400 IM right here at this pool in Tollcross in 2014. He set that record in 2011 at the Schools Championship, so 3 years was only the gap between Dan Wallace setting that Schools record and winning that Commonwealth gold right here in Tollcross.
Yeah, and interesting as you say that, because if you count it from now in 2019, we're then 3 years away from next Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, so it's certainly looking good for Archie for the future.
Well, it's an omen.
We hope so. we hope so.
Talking about Commonwealth swimmers, making the presentations as Scott McClay making the presentations for this next event here, which is the boys 13-14 years 200 metres individual medley. William Storer from Bankery taking the bronze medal. A close contest there. We saw 4 or 5 swimmers all in contention there. Jake Gibson from Fraserburgh Academy, second place swimmer, the youngster, 13 years of age. David Kernahan, very good swim there to take that gold medal. Lesbos swimmer taking that #1 spot. Scott McClay, a man who's again really come through the ranks in recent years.
Yeah, he has. Obviously he's one of those swimmers that's came through the pathway really well. Started obviously a few years ago when he was at the Commonwealth Youth Games, and then has progressed into that senior team at the Commonwealth Games last year, and the most decorated medalist at the Commonwealth Youth Games, won the just a couple of years ago, but is doing a really good job since moving to University of Stirling and increasing himself into those senior ranks and making senior teams, and he looks another positive for the future.
Real happy he's here to present medals today. Scott McClay, Harris Harley from Arbroath High School taking the bronze there. Stuart Andrews from Glasgow Academy taking the silver medal position.
I think it's important as well, Paul, for these young swimmers to see some of these senior athletes giving back. They were here at one time racing in the schools event, but it's really nice that we see it at the schools championships here in January, which is an individual championships, but we also see some of these senior athletes attending the Scottish Schools Relay Championships, which are held in June at the Commonwealth Pool in Edinburgh, and they're always there to hand out medals and do some meet and greet and signing some autographs for some of the younger swimmers as well. It's fantastic to be able to give something back and look to the future for this next crop of swimmers.
Yeah, it's very good to see those senior internationalists now not forgetting their roots. They've come through the system in Scotland, and the system is in good shape at the moment. Medalists there for the 17-19 years. Ian Rose from Erskine Stewart in the bronze medal. Rory Dixon from Garner Academy in second, but what a swim! Scottish Schools record for Archie Goodburn from Erskine Stewart, taking the record that was previously held by Dan Wallace. Fantastic swim there for Archie Goodburn from Erskine Stewart. He smashed it.
Yeah, and the thing I love about Archie is, even although he probably knows he's going to win that race quite comfortably, he always sets himself new goals and new challenges, and tries to maximise the chance to race every single time, and it's a really positive role model for all these younger swimmers that are here today and that see him around the country at several of the events as well.
Well done for Archie Goodburn there, making his way away from the podium. Put absolutely everything into that. We're just watching him almost stagger away from the podium there.
Yeah, and that just shows how much he's put into the race. He's leaving it all in the pool to make sure that he's had the opportunity to take that record, and it's always good to see that they're giving their all and they're not just taking it for granted that they're going to win those medals.
Fantastic performance there from Archie, first of the record swims to date. So I wonder if we'll have any more for us to look forward to. We've got a couple of very long-standing records that are coming up later in this session. One, the boys 100 butterfly stood since 1989. So I wonder if we'll see anyone challenge that one.
That'll be an interesting one. Certainly that's a name in Simon Capaldi that I've not heard for a number of years. I do know the name, but I've not heard it in a long time. And it's just interesting when you hear these that you forget that actually all those years ago we still had schools events, and that's when these records have been set since, and it shows the standard back then as well.
Back in Maddie, back to black and white days. We move on to the girls 13-14 years 100 backstroke. They're already halfway through. Millie MacArthur in 0, Kirsten Beaton in 1, Russa Mannering in 2, Ruby Weavers in 3, Rose McLean in 4, Sophie Ferguson in 5, Holly Milne in 6, Esme Lee in 7, Evie J. Clark in 8, and Erin Hammond in lane number 9. Again, 2 heats of this one. Heat declared winners. Can anyone post a time here to challenge? Keep a challenge for the second heat. Rose McLean from Perth High School is going to get this one, I think, just about ahead of Esme Lee. 1:12.34 for Rose McLean. Pretty close to her entry time.
Yeah, that was a nice swim there from Rose McLean. Just looked very in control through it, but it'll be an interesting battle in this next heat to see where the medals are going to come from, because you can assume, looking at some of these entry times, it might come from the centre lanes, but just when you see some kids swimming around the country, you might just get a feeling that some can come from elsewhere.
Yeah, Rose McLean taking that one, 1:12.34. Second heat just about to go in now. Result for that previous heat is confirmed. Yeah, the swimmers just extend the water, and the next heat will take their place. We have Poppy McDonald from Dumbarton in lane 0, Erin Urquhart from Cults Academy in 1, Ashley Merson from Deans in 2, Holly McGill from Royal High in 3, Rachel Saunders from Watson's in 4, Amy Shields, Bearsden in 5, Anna Green in 6 from Gillespie's, Abby Armstrong from Grove in 7, Sheen Kavanagh from Hermitage in 8, and Amber Stevenson from Bellman in lane number 9. Good underwater work there from Rachel Saunders, last to surface there.
Yeah, and certainly that's something that we're trying to encourage in some of these younger athletes, is to improve in their skill level. That will help take them on into that senior level. But this should be quite a tight race here. Rachel's looking good at the moment, closely followed by Amy Shields. But it'll be interesting to see if we can get the same work off the walls on the way back.
The record for this 13-14 years 100 backstroke held by Alexi Waller, set back in 2015. An eye on the clock as Saunders comes in now, and Saunders will get that one in 1:07.13. It was very tight, only 5 100ths outside the record time, but Rachel Saunders will take the title. Holly McGill in second and Amy Shields in third. It was very close at the end.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was so tight there for trying to get our second record of the day. But again, you've just got to try and spot that wall as best you can, especially when it comes to breaking records there.
Well, it was a great swim there from Rachel Saunders. She was under pressure from both sides there. Holly McGill and Amy Shields really putting the pressure on Rachel Saunders, but she was strong enough, she held on to win that one. Girls 15-16 years age group. Again, back to the 2 heats here. Sarah Coffey from Falkirk High goes in 0. Laura Murray from Dunblane in lane number 1. Lucy Kellis goes in lane number 2 from Balweary. Rowan Saunders in 3 from Craigmount. Jacqueline McMillan from Glenwood in lane number 4. Marie Wood from Tain in 5. Isla Yule from Bankery in 6. Alexandra Murray from Burmuir in 7. Sky Mall Holland from Calderglen in 8. Abigail MacArthur from Les Mahiego in lane number 9. Very good there. Lane number 5 off to a good start. Marie Wood from Tain. Up there north of Inverness, and she's had a good start here, hoping to post that time. challenge that second heat, of course, but Maria Wood leading Jacqueline McMillan and Alexandra Murray as they go into the second half.
Yeah, it's another tight one here, and it's not necessarily that if you get out there in the first 50 in this heat that you're going to take it on, because we've got some really strong swims here. We've got Sky down in lane 8, we've got Rowan Saunders, we've got Jacqueline McMillan, and it's looked like Jacqueline that's coming through to take this heat.
Jacqueline McMillan takes it 108.15, just about bang on her entry time, 100th of a second improvement. She'll be good to be on the right side of that time. 109.22 for Rowan Saunders and Sky Mulholland in third place, but a good, well-paced swim there from Jacqueline McMillan. Wasn't sucked into the early pace there.
Yeah.
The swimmer in lane number 5.
Yeah, and that can be the difficulty sometimes, especially in the long course pool for backstroke, that if you can put too much and use the legs too much in that first half of the race, you can pay for it second 50, but certainly those first 3 girls there seem to get the structure right to their own swims, and really nice to see that they're converting very close to those times that they set in the short course pool.
So 108.15, Jacqueline McMillan setting the target for the second heat. Some big names in the second heat though. Fitzgerald from Hutchison in lane 0, Mary McDonald Bucksburn in lane 1, Louise Beattie from Culloden in 2, Louise McQueenie from Uddingston in 3, Ellie Turner Woodmill in lane number 4, Abby Sinclair from Heriots in 5, Cabrelli from Grove Academy in 7, Victoria McCormack Prestwick in 8, Rachel Dawson from Eyemouth in lane number 9. Ellie Turner had a very good year so far. Oh, another swimmer was out in Geneva. Yeah,
and I think she picked up a couple of medals in Geneva as well. So it'll be interesting to see if she can close this out and continue the form that she's been in lately.
Well, the record stands at 104.36, held by Karen Reid back in 2014. And I wonder if Ellie Turner will have a crack at that one. She looks like she's going to lead this one, lead them home. It's a close contest for second, Elise McQueenie and Abby Sinclair, but Ellie Turner looks like she's going to win this gold medal here. We'll keep an eye on the clock as she comes into the finish now. Ellie Turner will get in 104.70, another close one. She takes the title, just 0.3 of a second outside that record which has stood since 2014. But Ellie Turner will take the title. It is Abby Sinclair winning that close contest with Elise McQueenie for the silver and bronze.
Yeah, and if you watch that one there, some of these girls will know how close they'll know what form they're in, and they'll know how close that they can probably get to some of these records, and it's great to see that we're getting so close, and we've actually taken down a few records already this morning, but we're right on the cusp of taking some of these down even further.
Yeah, we are indeed. That's been a couple of close calls there in terms of records. Ellie Turner though taking that title, continuing her good form. We'll move on to the last of the girls' 100 backstrokes, the 17-19 years age group. And it looks like we have full lineup for this one. Maybe not lane number 9. We do have Laura McLeay from Clydeview in 0, Elle McMillan from Brechin in 1, Erica Chilbeck from Firhill in lane 2, Alice Meldrum Calderglen in 3, Ellis Shields from Bearsden in 4, Caitlin Dodds of Muty in 5, Sarah Fraser in 6 from Dice Academy, Rachel Gillespie from Bearsden in 7, and Bailey Wilkes from Strathallan in lane number 8. The record for this event, held since 2015, Megan Briggs 104.68. So Ellis Shields maybe has a chance at this one. She's gone out well.
Yeah, I would say that she's got a really good chance at this, because I know she's pretty good at coming back, and hopefully she can close this. As swimmers that was out in Geneva last week, and is pretty close to that record time last week as well, so we'll see whether she's going to get close to actually taking this record down.
104.68 is the mark. Ellis Shields is going to win this one by a long way. 104.68 has just slipped by for Ellis Shields. It's 105.14. She will claim the Scottish Girls title ahead of Erica Chopek in second place, 107.68, and it was Caitlin Dodds who comes in for the bronze medal position there in 108.14, just ahead of Alice Meldrum by less than a second. But Ellis Shields again really close to those records.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's again about just taking it on and it's racing it. She's probably just paid a little in that last 25 metres. The stroke rate dropped a little bit, but it's about trying to maximise that at this early point in the season and practice these skills for the remainder of the season.
So moving on to the presentations now. We might have Scott McClay again making these presentations. We'll wait and see who shows up, but Bearsden not having a bad day.
I think the presentations are school's Vice President Shannon McClelland that's doing that. But yeah, Bearsden's having a positive day. That's the Shields sisters taking a gold and a bronze respectively. So hopefully many more to come that we can get reports back to the school for. So, but certainly I'm just a teacher at the school. I'm not the coach of those swimmers. They both swim for Mulgine Bearsden under Adam Riley. So a good job that he's doing there. And there we go. There's Scott McClay now there to present the medals as we had expected to see.
Scott McClay presenting that bronze medal to Amy Shields. 107.71 Amy's time there, just ahead of her Holly McGill by only 0.18 of a second from Royal High. Rachel Saunders from Watson's taking that title there. So well done, Rachel Saunders. 107.13 for Rachel Saunders. Just 5/100ths of a second outside the record from Lexi Ward.
Yeah, I know. And if you look at it, that's all three of those backstroke events there been really tight to those records, so it looks promising for our female backstroke for the future.
All three of those swimmers on the medal podium in the 107 range, so all within a second of that previous record held by Lexi Waller. Wasn't quite so close in this one. Alex McQueenie from Uddingston taking the bronze medal. Interestingly, just ahead of Jacqueline McMillan, who swam in that first heat, so it just shows you.
Yeah,
first
absolutely.
Heat, always in with a chance.
Yeah, and you've just got to try and take those opportunities, and it's not too far away. They're just 0.8 of a second from getting a medal. So, as we've said, it's not just because you're in the first heat that you've got no chance of winning a medal. Look how close Jacqueline McMillan got there, just in 4th place.
Abby Sinclair taking the silver there for the Heriots, 106.82, and Ellie Turner, no doubt about the winner. 104.70, again 0.3 of a second outside that record held by Karen Reid back in 2014. Great swim from Ellie Turner, continuing her good run of form. A medal at Geneva and a medal at Tollcross.
Yeah, and it's really positive to see that every time that they're getting the opportunity to race, that they're getting used to pulling out strong performances time after time now. Certainly when you've got some high class meets and you go to some of those international meets at Geneva, that's great experience, it sets you up, but also having a facility like this at Tollcross, you've got to make the most and step up and be able to compete at these national events.
Certainly what some of the swimmers have done this morning. I've seen some excellent performances. Caitlin Dodds, the bronze medalist for this girl, 17-19 years, 100 back. Erica Chopek, the silver, and Ella Shields takes a goal this time for Bearsden. Well done, Ella Shields. 105.14, again within half a second of that Scottish record, which has been standing since 2015. So swimmer bang on form there. Ella Shields, again one of the Geneva crew.
Yeah, but again, you look at these and you see Ellis is a 17-year-old. I know she's in 5th year at Bearsden, so she's possibly got another year to go and try and take that record down. But similarly, you'll have someone like Ellie Turner who's going to come up to that age group next year. So that'll hopefully be a promising battle to see if there we've got the opportunities across the board when they move up age groups, even from a Rachel Saunders moving up, you've then got a few years to try and take some of those records down. So I think those look promising over the next few years in that female backstroke. But we'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, interesting that the 17-19 years record is slower than the 15-16 years, so Ellie Turner have an easier target next year. So the boys 12 and under, 50 breaststroke, are underway. This is fast and furious. Stephen Hardy in 0, Josh Elliott in 1, Callum MacArthur in 2, Mark Watchorn in 3, Oliver Warner in 4, Joe Sutherland in 5, Rose Kringelis in 6, Nathan Oxton in 7, Craig Buchanan in lane number 8. 12 and under, of course, this is the heats, so just qualification for the final to be negotiated for these swimmers. If you're in the top 3, you would say you're pretty safe, but you can never tell with one more heat to come. Fastest 10 times make the final. It is going to be Oliver Warner from our Duthie School. I think we'll get in there in 40.78. Very good time for Oliver Warner there, faster than his entry time. Callum MacArthur in 2nd, and Roas Kringelis in 3rd place, just ahead of Mark Watchorn and Joe Sutherland in 5th position. So that's your top 5. 42, was that 42.49? I think was the 5th position.
Yeah, I think so. So it'll be an interesting one. Obviously, when you're watching breaststroke at such a young age, that's the type of stroke that you can drop quite a bit in terms of how far you can drop in a few months of training. Depends on how quickly you grow, especially at this younger age. So it'll be interesting to see what happens through this heat. Certainly a very fast start there in lane 4. I don't know if it was quite on the legal side or whether we might see our first disqualification here, which would be unfortunate. But it looks a really strong race from Finn Bannerman as it is anyway.
We'll see what the official result of that one is, but Finn Bannerman's certainly gone off to a very, very good start here, and he's continuing that right into the end of this race. Pressed by Luke Litton from St Andrews. 39.58, it's under the 40-second mark there. Luke Cullerton in 2nd position, and right up there at the top, Andrew McGrain in 3rd, 42.03, so 42.72 for Lewis Brander. Here's the next one home. Looks like we have a result there. Finn Bannerman 39.58, Luke Cullerton in 2nd, and Andrew McGrain in 3rd place. Result. Looks like it is.
Yeah, and it looks like it's a confirmed result at the moment, but yeah, we're even getting told there from Ann Dixon, who's the coach of young Finn, that she thought he would have been out. So it's an interesting one, but obviously we're at the opposite end of the pool from what the officials are at. So we've got to trust the competency of how good our officials are, and they are so professional for us across Scottish swimming, across the board and across all the districts. I think we've probably got the best set of of across the UK, so we've got to trust their judgment on things.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the old health warning, anything we do say in commentary, it's not gospel until we get the results from your officials.
Yeah, absolutely, and it'll be another interesting one here, because there's another really fast one from the blocks there in lane 3, so we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, it's the girls 12 years and under. Caleb Wiggum, Taylor Smith, Holly Cooley, Robertson, Gracie Goodall, Charlotte Hardy, Betty Fisher Keogh, Blair Payton, Evie Judge and Hazel King. That is the lineup for this one. Very close at the front here. Gracie Goodall maybe just with the edge with that red cap. The Knoxland Primary School swimmer is just about going to edge it ahead of Ailey Robertson and Charlotte Hardy. 38.85 for Gracie Goodall. She will take that one. And that's a very good swim from her. In 2nd place, Charlotte Hardy and Ailey Robertson in 3rd position. But good fast time there. 38.85. from Gracie Goodall.
Yeah, certainly that's setting a very good pace there for heat number 1, and we'll see what the girls have got in heat number 2 to try and get into that final.
I wonder if anyone can push themselves on to challenge the long-standing record stood since the year 2000.
Yeah, that's a really, really good record there in 37.06 from a long, long time ago, and I think some of these girls will be hard pushed to get close to that, but again, you never know. I think it's going to take under the 40-second mark here to probably make this final, but we'll see how it pans out.
Alex Cumming, Abigail Morton, Tammy Fulham, Gil Hooley, McPhee, Rebecca Coles, Ara Smith, Cassie Wiper, Violet Campbell and Lucy Hay in the centre lane. It looks like Ella McPhee is going to take this one. She is got clear water ahead of her and the rest of the field. It's going to be a very decent time here indeed. A very, very good time indeed. 36.57, and well, we said it was going to take a good swim for that old record to go, and it has gone. 37.06. It stood since the year 2000. It has gone for Ellen McPhee. 36.57. She takes it.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a terrific swim there. But still, I think she looked in so much control there that I'm even interested to see if we can get more than that in the final. But absolutely terrific swim. I was pointing to you on the monitor there at about 30 seconds because I was convinced that record was going to go, and it didn't just go. She's taken it by nearly half a second, which over a 50 is a big chunk.
Well, the 19-year-old record has absolutely been smashed there by half a second, almost exactly half a second there. And that record held by Julie Williams of Kilmacombe Primary School since the year 2000 has gone. Absolutely superb stuff for Ellen McPhee. The boys 13, 14 years, 100 metres butterfly is underway now. Nathan Peoples from St Columbus goes in 0. Togata Majumdar from William Wood in lane number 1. Finlay Davis from Pennycook into Jay Keith from Notre Dame in lane 3. Ewan McLeod, Biggar High School in 4. Luke McKenzie from Clydebank High School in 5. Jacob Wood from Mills in lane number 6. Ben Caldwell from Garden Rose in 7. Adam Curry from Greenwood in 8. Sandy Beggs from Burramuir in lane number 9. Ewan McLeod off to a good start. Jacob Wood back in again. Yeah,
again another one where his 2 events have fell in the morning session, so he'll get his day finished pretty quickly. But it's Ewan McLeod in the centre here, and also Jay Keith that's looking very strong here. So interesting to see if these boys can close it out and set a good time for to challenge the second heat.
Again, back to the heat declared races now. No second chance for these swimmers. Ewan McLeod looks like he's just going to hold on to get that one. 1:12.90. Yeah, excellent time there for Ewan McLeod, taking almost a second away from his entry time, so he'll be pleased with that one. In fact, Jay Keith it was actually who gets in there, fooling us all. I knew these lanes would trick us one day. It's like Jay Keith getting the touch there in lane number 3. Luke McKenzie in second, and Ewan McLeod actually in third spot. So Jay Keith in lane number 3 taking that one. Apologies, Jay. Luke McKenzie in second, Ewan McLeod in third.
Yeah, I think in this heat 2 that we could be a potential getting close to that 1989 record. We know from Stefan Kravietz that he's been swimming really well lately. Certainly done really well at that short course championships in December, breaking 60 seconds. So we'll see if he can convert that into the long course setting and challenge that record. I certainly think it's up for grabs.
Boys 13, 14 years, second heat now. Mackenzie Warwick, Kieran Lennox, Alexa Musevs, Tom Robertson, Stefan Kravich goes in 4, Murray Dixon 5, Owen Carroll in 6, Conrad Slesser in 7, Finlay Clubb in 8, and Adam Younger in lane number 9. Stefan Kravitz and Murray Dixon out together, 28.74, a good split there from Kravitz.
Yeah, and a terrific turn there from Stefan as well, making sure he's maximising the underwater work. He's looking really, really strong here, and as he goes through the 75 metre mark, probably just around about the 45 seconds, we'll certainly be putting pressure on this record at 101.81.
Well, the record has stood since 1989. Are we going to see the longest record on the book go today here in Tollcross? Stefan Kravitz is very close, and he's inside it in 101.19. Stefan Kravitz has taken that long-standing Scottish record. An excellent swim. He takes it in 101.19, ahead of Murray Dixon, ahead of Tom Robertson. But it's another record-breaking swim. Stefan Kravitz from Ross High.
Yeah, and I called that one before it. It's just something that you see, and you've been watching the kids across the national events, and you just know when something's going to happen. But the interesting one for that record is Stefan's actually the younger of the double-banded age group, so he's got an opportunity to go and take that down even further, and then it would be a question of how many years that can stand for.
He's taking his chance today. His one and only chance to break that record in the year. I'm sure he'll be planned already to come back and challenge it again. Boys 15, 16 years are already underway. Alistair Weir, Ross Alexander, Jacob Candy, Jack Murphy, Zachary Kirkbright, Finlay Stewart, Alistair Peterson, Ross Picclado, Dylan Aitken and Craig Herbert. They are in that first heat. Again, 2 heats of this one. Finlay Stewart leading them through the first 50. Zach Kirkbright in second place. Very close there between 3 swimmers at the front.
Yeah, and as you say, all these heats are coming thick and fast now as we're moving from records into other strong events. But certainly here we've got another tight race, and all the heat ones that we seem to be getting, all the tight races, and trying to set something good for heat 2 coming up.
Well, it's pretty close at the front. Still looks like it is going to still be Finlay Stewart will take this one, I think. And he does take it in 106.27. Good time, good improvement for Finlay Stewart there. That was an excellent swim. 108.62 his entry time. He's improved that to 106.27. Followed home by Alistair Peterson. And in third place was Zach Kirkbright. But excellent swim.
Yeah, terrific swim from Finlay Stewart there. Looked really strong in that last 25, really holding the length at the front of the stroke. But certainly 106.27 is a terrific time when you compare that to his regional heats qualifying time of 108.
Good to see these improvements come into the big event. Here's where the medals are handed out. The number of the swimmers stepping up today. Put some good performances in. What performances we are going to get here when if anyone can challenge the 1 minute mark. Scott Smythe from Glenwood in lane 0, Ben Montgomery, Dollar Academy in 1, Bryce Proctor from Dumfries High School in 2, Ethan Brown from Forfar Academy in 3, Fraser Kelly from Largs in 4, Christopher Aitken, Strathallan in 5, Cameron Gordon, Glenalmond in 6, Simon Murray from Robert Gordon in 7, Jason English from Watson's in 8, and Cameron Creaney from St Maurice's in lane number 9. Well, Fraser Kelly, entry time of just on the 1 minute mark, but all to play for here as they go through the first 50. 3 or 4 swimmers really in contention here.
Yeah, it's really tight, especially in those centre lanes, just 7/100s between them at the 50 metre mark. But Fraser Kelly seems to have come off the wall really well there and is pushing on that third quarter.
Fraser Kelly now just leading. Christopher Aitken 1 lane down and 2 lanes up from Fraser is Bryce Proctor, looking the most likely to challenge here, but Fraser Kelly coming home. Is he going to claim this school's title? It's going to be very close to the 1 minute mark, and Fraser Kelly will take that one, 59.90. He'd be delighted to get under that 1 minute barrier. He's followed home by Bryce Proctor, and in third spot was Ethan Brown, winning that very, very close contest for the bronze medal. But a great swim there. Good swims are really coming thick and fast now. Fraser Kelly taking that one ahead of Bryce Proctor.
Yeah, and it's always a nice feeling to break that 60-second mark. I'm just watching Jess Wilkie's coach there, looking very pleased, so I'm guessing that's maybe the first time that he's broke the 60-second mark long course for a 100 fly. So yeah, very promising.
Yeah, nice place to do it. Pressure was on there. That he was the fastest qualifier, but by no means a firm favourite here. Well, the boys 17, 19 years age group. You see Andrew Gatton going in lane 0, Mark Devlin. Cardinal in lane 1, Ian Rose. Merskin Stewart in 2, Mitchell Stevenson Carluke in 3, Fraser Wilson Pennycook in 4, Zaina Saplovskis from Glenalmond in 5, Mark Innes in 6, John Fawcett in 7 from Cathkin High, Lewis Birrell from Watson's in 8, and Robert Allen from Arbroath in lane number 9. Again, this promises to be another very close contest indeed.
Yeah, and Fraser's looking pretty strong at the moment. Just see if anyone's able to come back on them. Certainly Mark Innes is looking good also, so all depends on who can put that kick in at the back end to make sure they can try and close these medal positions out.
Well, it's a cracking race now, but Fraser Wilson looks like he might take this one from Pennycook. He's going to be home ahead. A very good time as well, 59.90, exactly the same as the previous swim there we saw in the younger age group. Mark Innes in 2nd position, and in 3rd place Ian Rose. And a very good swim there from Fraser Wilson. And, well, 59.90 again. You'll be pleased to get under the 1 minute mark. We do have disqualification there in that previous scene. It was a very, very fast start. One of the swimmers there, so this time it was a disqualification.
Yeah, unfortunate obviously to get disqualified, but you've got to make sure that you're able to stand on the block and make sure you remain steady. We see it at the younger level, but we see it even up to that highest level where it's so easy to twitch on the block or go early, and you're just breaking that rule, unfortunately.
So the two Frasers exactly the same time.
Yeah.
Medals in the different age groups.
Yeah, and interestingly, I think that's Ian Rose's 2nd medal of the morning on his 2nd event as well. A couple of bronze medals this morning, so really a really good morning from him.
Looks like it will be Shannon McClelland doing the medal presentations this time. We'll wait and see, or it might even be Scott McLeay again. Oh yeah, it's Scott McLeay. They're trying to catch us out, I think, today.
Yeah, I know, we're getting fed sheets of paper that tells us who's meant to be doing the presentations, and we seem to be getting the names round the wrong way, but good job that we can spot who they are.
There's no mistaking Scott McLeay and Shannon McClelland.
Not at all.
Bronze medalist there from Aberdeen Grammar. This is the boys, 13-14 years, 100 metres butterfly. Tom Robertson taking that one. Murray Dixon taking the silver medal. But there's the champion, Stefan Kravitz, and what a swim that was. And he absolutely smashed that long-standing record. It's stood since 1980s. Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, so 30 years. It's probably one of the longest standing records I've seen at all in swimming, so to stand that long. And yeah, the great thing about the schools is that you've got one chance every year to go and break that record. You've got to make the most of that, and certainly Stefan did that, and as I said previously, I think he can lower that again next year, so we'll see how that pans out. We're certainly seeing the records tumble today, and if they don't tumble, we're certainly getting very close to them. So we're at such a high standard, and this is only session 1 of 3 in the day, so sign of great things to come for the rest of the meet.
Yeah, some excellent times, excellent record swims we've seen so far. This is the boys 15-16 years. The bronze medalist from Forfar Academy, Ethan Brown, and in the silver medal position. Keen contest this one, Dumfries High School, Bryce Proctor. Close for the silver and bronze medals positions, but no doubt about the winner there, Largs Academy's Fraser Kelly, 59.90. Always good to get under these barriers. Well done, Fraser Kelly. From Largs, he takes that Scottish Schools title. 59.90 for Fraser.
Yeah, terrific swimming from those boys, and certainly they'll be looking to compete faster and get quicker as they go through, especially moving on to the national age groups come the end of March time, so they've got a nice block of training still to do before that, and then beyond there it's what can you do to make those summer championships.
way through the ranks. A lot of competition opportunities available to them. Erskine Stewart's Ian Rose taking a medal there, 101.23. Mark Innes from Balerno in second place, 1 minute .78. Another Fraser, another gold medal, another 59.9. Pennycook High School's Fraser Wilson this time taking the gold medal in the boys 17-19 years 100 metres butterfly.
Yeah, and it's good to see Fraser Wilson there in the middle. He looks as if he's left everything in the pool, similar to Archie Goodburn did earlier. So really positive swimming. All these guys are taking it on to the highest level and giving it their all.
And the school's title as well, it's kind of got some standing, hasn't it?
Yeah, because I wouldn't necessarily say in schools that swimming is one of those dominating sports across many of the schools in the country, but it certainly gives you good kudos when you go back to your school and gives people a bit more understanding and spreads the knowledge of our sport a wee bit more. So it's good to see, and especially as we've spread out so many medals across the country so far this morning, and it's just getting swimming on the map. And trying to increase the amount of people that come into our sport as well.
Through the events, we're on to the girls 100 metres butterfly. This is the 13-14 years age group. Alana Lowe from West Hill Academy in 0, Karen Smythe from Woodmill in 1, Emma Creaney from St Maurice's in 2, Lucy McNally from Prestwick in 3, Alice Mackey from Watson's in 4, Rachel Maguire, St Matthews in lane number 5, Hayley Armstrong last week in 6, Yuki Folds from Taylor High School in 7, Fia Lichtendag from Mackey Academy in 8, Lucy Fleming from St Paul's in lane number 9. Then one of 2 heats this one, first heat, and well, the winner from this one. It's very, very close here.
Yeah, but a really good start there in that first 50 from Hayley Armstrong and Emma Creaney respectively, so we'll see if these girls can able to close it out, but Lucy McNally certainly from Prestwick is looking strong in this last 25 as well, but the win in this heat could come from any of those 3 girls at the moment.
Looks like it might be Emma Creaney who's stronger in the second 50 here. Emma Creaney from St Maurice's will take that one in 1:14.40. Again, another good improvement there in the entry times. Again, one of the swimmers in this 13-14 years age group, one of the 13-year-olds in this first heat. So Emma Creaney takes that one ahead of Lucy McNally, who had a very good second 50 there, and Hayley Armstrong, the early leader, taking third spot at the end, but still decent time there for Hayley Armstrong, just a few tenths of a second outside her best time, or her entry time I should say. Second heat though, we'll have their eyes on that time. We have Jory Horn from Caskin High in lane number 0, Nicole Flynn from Cumbernauld in 1, Chloe Barron from Beeslack in 2, Emily Cumming from Kinross in 3, Millie Milne from Broughton in 4, Emma Mill from Thurso in 5, Rosie Robertson, Perth High School in 6, Katie Campbell, West Hill in 7, Holly Lumsden in 8 from Boroughmuir, and Liberty Blair from Wallace High in lane number 9. Well, Millie Milne from Broughton, probably the favourite for this one. Emma Mill has gone out fast as well from Thurso.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one tactically to see if Millie just is doing this because she knows she's got a strong second 50, but certainly they're, for all that we think that Millie might be the favourite here, the 2 girls on either side of her are making sure that they have a go at her early on to put pressure on her.
Yeah, pressure very much on Millie Milne there in the centre of those 3 leading swimmers. She's coming through strongly now. The only one to really try and live with the pace is Emma Mill from Thurso, 1 lane down with the blue cap there, but the red cap of Millie Milne looks like she might take this one. A very good swim from Nicole Flynn from Cumbernauld, bringing her into contention, but Millie Milne is going to take this one. She does take it in 1:07.41. An excellent time for Millie Milne. She'll become the school's champion In second position is Emma Mill, and Chloe Barron got up for the third spot. Very good finish from Chloe Barron there, right up there in lane number 2.
Yeah, a terrific swim there, especially from Millie, up that first 50, just with plenty of control. Let the girls on either side there just set the pace and been right on their shoulder, and came off the wall and was really strong third 25 to ensure that she made the most of that to try and swim away.
It was a very close contest for the silver and bronze medals, especially that bronze medal position. Chloe Barron really had a tremendous finish there. Get herself up in the medal positions. Girls 15, 16 years, butterfly underwear. Ashley Blythe from St Columbus in 0, Mary Mackey from Watson's in 1, Sarah Cowan from Larbert High in 2, Amy Ash from Straven in 3, Alicia Greenshields from Uddingston in lane number 4, Laura Frizzell Gallagher in 5, Holly Simpson Old Macker in lane number 6, Faith Yuda from Mackey Academy next to her teammate Caitlin Rose. They go in 7 and 8, and Erin McGee in lane number 9. Again, first of the 2 heats here, hoping to challenge that 110 mark. Good start there in lane number 4 from Alicia Greenshields of Uddingston.
Yeah, really strong start there from Alicia, and she's probably one of those girls that would have hoped to be in Heat 2 and been in the mix with the racing, so she's probably trying to set something good to see where she can be and try and creep into that top 10 as well. But certainly some of those other girls around about her are now coming back at her, but I do think Alicia's got enough to hold them off here.
It does look like the Uddingston swimmer is going to do that. It's a raft of 4 swimmers behind her, but 109.34. Well, it's a good target, faster than her entry time, so she'll be pleased with that swim, I'm sure. Holly Simpson just getting up for second position there. In fact, it wasn't Holly Simpson, it was Amy Ash who just beat Holly Simpson by 3/100ths of a second. Thought Holly Simpson had it there, but Amy Ash taking that second spot ahead of Holly Simpson. Very, very close contest. Alicia Greenshields taking that one. Second heat, Derek, are we going to see another record-breaking performance here? The record for this one stands at 104.31, stood for 10 years.
I think it's a distinct possibility from possibly Lucy Grieve, but certainly Anya Slesser also. The two of them have had some really close contests in the past few years at both 100 and 200 butterfly, so obviously being the 100 today we'll see, but Lucy's looking really strong at the moment, getting out there just ahead of Anya, but we'll see how that pans out as we go through the rest of the 100.
Full line up here, Elaine Murray, Jessica Carnes, Morven Lister, Lauren Patterson, Lucy Grieve in the centre, just with that slender lead. In fact, she's not got a lead because Anya Slesser is just ahead of her by a matter of hundreds. Catherine Bailey, Eve Corrigan, Adele McDade and Olivia Damascio had a real tussle here at the finish. Very good turn from Lucy Grieve.
Yeah, and certainly we're looking, and I think that record is just about on at this stage, but it'll be a tight one. You've just got to be able to drive home and hold the length at the front of the stroke and keep pushing that kick on, but this is going to be another tight one again.
Well, 104.31 was the record. Is it going to go? It is gone. It's 103.70. An excellent swim there from Lucy Grieve. She will take that one ahead of Anya Slesser. And we've seen another record fall today, Derek. Fantastic swimming again we're seeing here at Tollcross. And Lucy Grieve, well, we thought she might be on for it. She was on for it. 103.70. Taking that in a new record time.
Yeah, absolutely terrific second 50 from Lucy there. Anya obviously had to get out quick with her to try and be with her and set the challenge, but Lucy just did too much in that second 50.
The records just keep coming. You wouldn't bet against another record here in the 17-19 100 butterfly. Isla Johnson, Amy Richardson, Lucy Robertson, Serena Guaram, Yasmin Perry, Kirsten Laurie, Gaia Alcaraz, Ellie Monks, Beth Gordon and Emma Calder. Record stood since 2005, 104.22.
Yeah, and certainly Yasmin Perry is taking it out here to try and attack that. Out a little bit quicker than Lucy Grieve was, so we will see if Yasmin can bring it back as well as Lucy did. and certainly if we can match that, then another record is on again this morning.
Well, this is a different age group, of course, from Lucy Gray. This is the final, the one and only swim in the 17-19 years age group. Yasmin Perry going really well. A real tussle for the silver and bronze here, but the goal is going to go to Yasmin Perry. It is going to be first place to Perry from Old Macca in a time of 101.22, and that record has been obliterated by exactly 3 seconds. That was a superb swim there from Yasmin Perry. Alcaraz in second and Laurie in third.
Yeah, such a strong swim there from start to finish from Yasmin Perry. And yeah, we said that she got out just a little bit quicker than Lucy Grieve when she had her record, but what a second 50 from Yasmin. Just really attacked it, kept the stroke rate going, kept the length on it, and executed it really, really well.
Wow, that was unbelievable swim there from Yasmin Perry. Well, the record stood since 2005. Another really long-standing record has gone today.
Yeah, and it's a terrific morning of swimming. I can't think of too many events where we've not been close to records or beaten records at all, where it's been too far away. So it just shows the progress that's been made, and the great work that's out there. Although that they're representing their schools today, the great work that they're doing at their clubs, and that they're doing in the pathways and the programmes through the whole of Scottish swimming.
We'll move to another set of medal presentations. Scott McClay on duty again, I think. The looks of things again, our sheet of medal presenters looks to be incorrect.
Yeah, we'll just go with it. I think Scott's doing a really good job on the presentations this morning, so we'll leave Scott to do those presentations.
These young swimmers, always good to see from the swimmer they look up to.
Yeah, definitely. And butterfly being one of those events that Scott's pretty strong in. Obviously won the 50 fly at the Commonwealth Youth Games, and competed in it at the Senior Commonwealth Games last year in Gold Coast.
Your medalists there: Ailey Armstrong, Lucy McNally, Emma Creaney, Champ. Confused now with my results here. It's Chloe Barron, of course, Emma Mill, Millie Mill, that one. It's all gone too fast for me, Derek.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been such a slick event so far this morning that and full credit to the organisers and how slick and the team that's involved behind the scenes that we don't see on the cameras. But it keeps it really slick for us to be able to run, but we've just got to try and keep up with that.
Exactly. We're just about managing it. Lauren Patterson with the bronze medal there, Anya Slessor, and that incredibly good swim there from Mark Hodges, Lucy Grieve, to take that gold medal in that new record time. The record stood since 2009. Blaine Small from Glenwood High School has gone today. So another long-standing record going there. Lucy Grieve taking that one, and that was an excellent swim there. She looked really, really good all the way through.
Lucy looked delighted, and again, she's one of those younger of the double age band, so she's just a 15 this year, so she's got another opportunity again, like we were talking about Stefan earlier in the boys 100 fly as well. So it's not just, we were talking backstroke that we were close to records, but it seems to be multiple records that are falling in the butterfly events this morning.
Kirsten Laurie taking the bronze medal there in the girls 17-19 years age group. Gaia Alcaraz in second position, just 3/100 separating Kirsten Laurie and Gaia Alcaraz there, but no doubt about the winner. Record swim again, it's Yasmin Perry this time from Old Macca, 101.22. The record stood since 2005, a 14-year-old record. That stood at 104.22, so exactly 3-second improvement there from Yasmin Perry to take that one. That was incredible, so really strong.
Yeah, and to take it down by that much for such a long-standing record, you just wonder. I know we're making great strides in swimming, across the board and across these age groups. But you just wonder how long that will stand, or whether some of those younger swimmers that are breaking records in the younger events of the same event, like Lucy Grieve there, will she come through and take that as soon as she becomes the 17 to 19 age group.
It's good to see these records being broken. Very few very long-standing records, actually. Certainly in the last 4 or 5 years, we've seen the records go. But still, the big names there from when they were juniors themselves, when they were at school. Hannah Miley, Stephen Milne, as we mentioned before. Craig Benson has a record in the 200 breaststroke for the 13, 14 years. Craig McLean as well. So a number of swimmers who've gone on to great things have still got those younger age group records.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of these swimmers that we're talking about are in the current Team Scotland and British teams and so on. So it's certainly, they're still current, they're still swimming, they're role models for us in the sport. And seeing those names on the record books, it's quite a scalp if you can take some of those names down.
The target for these swimmers. We'll move on to the boys 200 metres backstrokes. The last of the batch of the heat declared events this morning. We'll have the presentations, of course, for this 200 backstroke, and we'll move on to the finals for the 50 metre events for the 12 years and under. In this 200 metres backstroke, Eagle Savage from Bathgate Academy goes right at the top there in lane 0. Ethan Stewart from Airdrie Academy in 1. Owen Williamson from Knox Academy in lane number 2. Ryan Broadley from Fraserburgh Academy in 3. Alex Scott, Dumfries High in lane 4. Kyle Academy for Arabarami lane number 5. Leighton Burr from Inverurie in 6. Mantis Genovicius from Fraserburgh Academy in 7. Chris Moyer in 8 from Calder Glen. Cameron Doran from Taylor High School in lane number 9. Very good start there for Owen Williamson. Goes through lane number 2, leaving them at the halfway point. Williamson with an entry time of 2:14.55. Some 4 seconds behind Alex Scott's entry time, the Dumfries swimmer. It looks like swimmer in lane number 2, Knox Academy, Owen Williamson. He's got the edge here as they go into the second half of this one.
Yeah, absolutely. He's looking very strong in that first 100, and I've just been passed a message that it's actually Alex Scott's birthday today. So a happy birthday to him. So he'll be hoping that he can come back and win this heat. But certainly at the moment, Owen Williamson's looking really strong, looking very comfortable, long and smooth, rolling into that turn nicely, and then he's going to hopefully try and increase that stroke rate and bring it home.
Yeah, Owen Williamson with a very handy lead of 3 seconds going into this final stages now, the final 50 metres. That entry time of 2:40 certainly under threat.
Yeah, it looks as if he's going to be miles inside the 2:40 at this stage. So but really, really strong swimming. This is where we see in these younger age groups how much we can take those times down from the regional heats through to the finals today. But certainly this has been a very, very strong and dominating performance from Owen Williamson.
Williamson takes it 10 seconds in fact inside that 2:40 mark. 2:30.04, almost just dipped under the 2:30, so it's a way to improve your times, just almost miss out 10 seconds there.
Yeah, absolutely. And
almost straight from the 40s to the 20s.
It certainly puts a bit of pressure on this next heat. You know, if you take it on rankings and putting that in, that then puts you up to 7th position right away, and all it takes is for a few people not to have as great a performance as what Owen's had there. And you never know where you'll be, if it can certainly put you in the mix.
2:30.04, followed on by the birthday boy in second position there, Alex Scott. Well, we saw Jacqueline McMillan almost take a medal from the first heat in the girls' backstroke event. I wonder if we're going to get a medal here for Owen Williamson. And, well, he's another chance here. Entry times of this one are a couple of seconds faster, but as you said, Derek, just people have got to achieve them, and
yeah,
a lot of them have
absolutely.
been set in the short course pool, so not an easy ask here for these swimmers in this final. Yeah,
and I think what Owen's just done there, taking 10 seconds on backstroke, is one of those difficult ones to convert to long course swimming. unless you can maximise the use of turns and use off the walls, because certainly it's a higher pain threshold in terms of your legs at the second 100 of a 200 backstroke. So it'll be a really interesting contest here to see whether these boys have got enough, if they can match their entry times from the regional heats, or go a little bit quicker. But certainly Owen's put himself in a good position in Heat 1 to see what can happen.
The swimmers in this second heat: Kyle Mitchell from Inverurie, but at the top there in line 0, Callum Peebles from Ross High in 1, from Boroughmuir in 2, Jack Brown from Watson's in 3, Travis Davey from Perth High School in 4, Robert Burgess Clifton Hall in 5, Calvin McDonald Bucksburn in 6, Elliot Rowe in 7 from Bankery, Cameron Arthur from Ellen Academy in 8, and Blair Kennedy from Hamilton College in lane number 9. Travis Davey looking pretty smooth. Some good technique we're seeing from these young swimmers here. He leads them through the halfway point, 1:10.21.
Yeah, the technical ability of a lot of these swimmers this morning has been absolutely superb, and you can see that how smooth Travis looks there in the centre lane with the pink hat on, very in control, not using his legs an awful lot at this stage, but hopefully that will start to increase now as he's coming into this turn at the 150 metre mark.
Travis Davey in that centre lane, being pushed by the swimmers either side of him. Jack Brown in 3, Robert Burgess in 5. These three look the most likely to be in the medal positions here, just 0.08 of a second separating the second and third swimmers. That's Robert Burgess and Jack Brown. Jack Brown in 3, Robert Burgess in 5, but in the centre of those two, Travis Davey now trying to hold on. It's a real challenge from Jack Brown in lane number 3. It's going to be very close at the finish now. Jack Brown certainly coming back now, and Travis Davey is going to have to dig in here in the final stages. They come into the flags, into the red zone, and Travis Davey will take this one, reaches for the wall, and he gets in 2:24.75, exactly a second ahead of Jack Brown, who gets in for the silver. And Robert Burgess, good swim for him for bronze in 2:27.34.
Yeah, and absolutely terrific swimming there from those young guys, but it just shows you there again from Owen Williamson in Heat 1, that's catapulted him up to fifth position overall, so it just shows you what is possible.
Yeah, just 4 swimmers there getting under the 2:30 mark. Travis Davey is the man he led from the start there. Managed to hold on to that lead. He had everybody in his sights coming down there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You look back and you're able to respond to the challenge at the end.
Yep, and it's obviously one of those strokes where you don't really have an awareness and you can't really see your competitors as much, but there's always ways and means of how you go about doing that without affecting your technique, using your peripheral vision and so on, and sometimes just to feel in the water to know where swimmers are round about you as well.
Well, that was the 13-14 years backstroke. Move on to the 15-16 years 200 backstroke now. Blair Johnston, Blair in lane 0, Craig McDonald from Fair of Leven in lane number 1, James Cool Bucksburn in 2, Ewan Duns from James Young in lane number 3, Cameron Palmer from Bells Hill in 4, Lucas Grieve, Larbert High in lane 5, Conan Mowbray from St Kintelligans in lane number 6, Jonathan Cameron from Cumbernauld in 7, Stuart McFarlane from Wallace High in 8, Daniel Penman from Broughton in lane number 9. Very close, 3 swimmers taking this out fast there. Thomas Coates in 2, sorry, James Cool in 2, Cameron Palmer in 4, and Lucas Grieve in lane number 5. Those are the 3 swimmers taking them out, but James Cool pretty good here as they come into the halfway turn.
Yeah, James is looking really comfortable at the moment, and so is Lucas Grieve, so it'll be interesting to see, because obviously these 2 swimmers won't be able to see each other. We're just talking about peripheral vision, but they have got no chance of seeing each other at this stage whatsoever, and only 7 100s separating them at the 100 metre mark, but certainly I would always look for them to push on in the third quarter and try and make that break, and it seems that that's the case for Lucas Grieve here.
Yeah, Lucas Grieve certainly came off that turn with a purpose there at the bottom. Certainly picked up his rate there, and that took him ahead of James Cool. He's feeling the pace a little bit now, but still holding on for the second position as they come to this final turn. Lucas Grieve, well, he's over safely and heading home now with a lead of about 3 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's looking really strong to be quite a way inside his entry time of 2:24, and he's had a really strong, from about 90 metres he just picked up that stroke rate to go into the turn at the 100, and he's just pressed on from there.
Into the final stages now. Lucas Grieve swam this very well indeed. A very strong second 100 for Lucas Grieve from Larbert High, and he finishes in 2:22.05. Well done, Lucas Grieve. Taking that another improvement there of about 2.5 seconds, so the improvements still keep coming towards the end of this session this morning. The swimmer still performing here every race. Thumbs up there from Lucas Grieve. Pleased with that one. James Cool in second, and Ewan Duns in third position. Very close actually for the third place. A number of swimmers finishing very close to each other there. No doubt about the winner though, Lucas Grieve taking that one, 2:22. Could be an interesting one here in the second heat. Some very fast times have been entered here. Joshua Aspinall from Watson's going in 0. Felix Hale from Trinity Academy in lane number 1. Thomas Coates from Inverarmond in 2. Jamie Ferguson from Lasswade in 3. Jack Munsey from Kinross High in 4. Michael Flynn from Cumbernauld in 5. Sean Craig Mile from Ross High in 6. Ross Errants from Margaret in 7. Ewan Houston from Paisley Grammar in 8. Right down at the bottom here, Callum Dunn from Kyle Academy in the outside lane, right at the bottom of your screen here. Jack Munsey from Kinross High, very fast entry time of 2:02.20. So Jack Munsey, well, excellent entry time there. Craig McLean actually is the record holder for this one in this 15-16 200 backstroke. 2:12.27.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one to see. I would be looking at this hoping that Jack can take that record down, but it just depends what form Jack's on, and whether he can convert his short course, which I know he's good at turns, whether he can convert that into the long course pool. But he's looking very strong, as if he wants that record and he wants to take it on. He'll be inspired by so many other records this morning, knowing how far he's been inside it at the regional heats, that he'll be trying his best to take that down. As we come into the 100 turn, he's certainly on course for that.
Jack Munsey going through the halfway point, 103.67, the record from Craig McLean. Stood for 5 years, set back in 2014. Jack Munsey certainly got his sights in this one. He's close for second position. Looks like Michael Flynn just heading the challenge there. Jamie Ferguson and Sean Craig Mile battling it out for third spot at the moment. But Jack Munsey into this final turn, looking pretty good here. The record could be on.
Yeah, I would think he's got to be turning in under 138 to make sure, and that's 137.6. It'll still be pretty tight as the legs start to burn, especially when you're doing a long course 200 backstroke. He looks to have increased his stroke rate again, so here's hoping that he can try and nick under that record. In fact, he's looking very strong now. He's just increased the stroke rate an awful lot, and this is looking like another record again this morning.
Well, can we get another record to add to the tally here? It's Jack Munsey coming into the closing stages. Craig McLean holds the record at 2:12.27, and it has gone. It's Jack Munsey will take it in 2:10.10. Another Scottish school record goes here in Tollcross.
Yeah, terrific swim there from Jack Munsey. He did it the hard way. He got out really strong first 100. Looked to tire a little in that third 50, but certainly I don't know whether he was maybe just holding something back to increase that stroke rate on the last 50 to make sure he could take that record down.
Well, it was very close for second and third positions. All eyes were on Jack Munsey trying to challenge that record. Sean Craigmile getting up for the silver medal position, and Michael Flynn for the bronze medal position. So Sean Craig Miles silver, Michael Flynn the bronze. No doubt about the winner though. Jack Munsey, the records keep coming here in Tollcross. Another Scottish school record goes. What a morning we've had so far.
Oh yeah, it's been an absolutely terrific morning of swimming. I've not actually kept note of how many records we're at, but I could probably think we're up about 5 or 6 now this morning, and certainly into double figures of being within half a second of records, if not beating them.
Yeah, 6 I think so far. We started off with Archie Goodburn. That was the very first record we've had. I think I make that 6. We'll just do our sums as we go through. Wonder if we're going to get a 7th record. Boys 17, 19 years. 200 backstroke, the last of the heat declared winners. We have to see in this morning's sessions. We've still got the finals of the 50s to come. They're always very exciting. The young swimmers in the 12 and under age groups still got to make their way out for this finals. I wonder if you can get another record in the 12 and under age group. We saw one earlier from Ellen McPhee in the 50 metres breaststroke. I wonder if that can be improved again. Boys are out though for this 200 backstroke. We have Stuart Kingdom in lane number 0. We have Graham Squires from Nairn Academy in lane 1. Liam McLaughlin back in again. He goes in lane number 2. Callum Chettleburgh goes in 3. Keir Edgar in 4. Conor Massey in 5. Alexander Harris in 6. Brian Robertson, Glasgow School of Sport in 7. Ewan McDonald in 8 from Our Ladies High, and Archie Quillen in 9 from Robert Gordon's College. A little bit of a delay, Derek. This event was reseeded, so I wonder if a little bit of a
yeah, and it just looks we've obviously been given a reseeded script, but maybe some of the boys haven't been alerted to the reseeding. So I'm just seeing Liam McLaughlin there in lane number 6, but on our list we've got Alexander Harris, so I think it'll just take a little bit of, I don't know that they can start this race, although the referee is good to go. So a little bit of confusion.
McLaughlin making his way over to lane 2, switching about.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because these boys have got some experience here, so it's whether they take the opportunity to compose themselves and are well within their rights to put their hand up and give themselves a bit more time if they're not quite ready. For me, I would have probably lifted my clothes and moved them over and held it up a little bit, because if they've not been told that it's been reseeded, then you're entitled to not take as much time as you like, but certainly enough time to compose yourself before racing.
Looks like we have the swimmers in the correct lanes now. Just checking them off. Obviously, I'm not aware of their new lanes, but I think we're okay now. Just to recap the swimmers in this one. Looks like we have Stuart Kingdom in lane 0, Graham Squires, Nairn Academy in 1, Liam McLaughlin, James Gillespie in lane 2, Callum Chettleburgh, Edinburgh Academy in 3, Keir Edgar, Dollar Academy in 4, Conor Massey from Glasgow Academy in 5, Alexander Harris from Stirling High School in 6, Ryan Robertson, Glasgow School of Sport in 7, and Ewan McDonald, Our Ladies High in 8, Archie Quillen down there in lane number 9 from Robert Gordon's College. 6 off to a good start there. Alexander Harris from Stirling High. So to play for here, entry time's pretty close. Alexander Harris gone out pretty fast though. Keir Edgar also going well, and Conor Massey, the 3 swimmers in the middle there, looking like they're leading the way as they come down to the halfway.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because we've got 3 swimmers there, Alexander, Keir and Conor, who are all youth development squad members, but we've also got Ryan Robertson, who's a youth squad member, so they'll all know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and I think Ryan and Alexander have went out quite hard, knowing that Keir Edgar's really strong in the second half of the race.
Well, it's Ryan Robertson who leads them through 103.50, just 0.1 ahead of the swimmer next to him. In lane number 6, Alexander Harris. And in third spot was Keir Edgar. I wonder if he can come back in the second 100 here. Looks like he is starting to do so. That blue cap of Keir Edgar in the centre as they come up to this final turn. Keir Edgar is making his way maybe just ahead of the two in lane 6 and 7.
Yeah, and watch for Keir's turn here. I'm sure he's going to maximise the use off the walls. It's something that I watch him regularly do. As you can see, he's still under the water as the other two guys are coming up there, and he's making sure he's getting ahead to try and leave nothing to chance on this last 50.
Well, unbelievable turn there for Keir Edgar, and that has taken him clear. Surely he is going to claim this Scottish Schools title. A real battle for the silver medal position. Alexander Harris and Ryan Robertson absolutely side by side, these two, but here comes Keir Edgar now into the final 5 metres. Keir Edgar is going to take this one. A great second half of the race for Keir Edgar from Dollar Academy. He will take it. Ryan Robertson wins the contest for the silver medal position, just ahead of Alexander Harris. But what a good swim there from Keir Edgar. The second half of the race was all his.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's something that we see regularly from Keir. He's such a good technician at his skills off the wall. I know it's certainly some of the things that he works the hardest at, and I wasn't surprised there at all. And that's one of the hardest things to do in a 200 backstroke, is to come off that last wall and maximise the distance that you can get off the wall. And it's something that when you practice that in training, it just happens then when you go into a race and you're confident enough to be able to execute that.
Yeah, absolutely. These skills, it's always good practice and training. When you get into a race, then it just becomes second nature, really. That's what Keir Edgar practiced very well in that final there to take that one for Dollar Academy. Presentations already underway for the boys 13-14 years 200 backstroke. Robert Burgess from Clifton Hall, Jack Brown from Watson's, and Travis Davey from Perth High School. Taking those medals there. Very close race actually. Travis Davey did very well in the closing stages to hold off the challenge of the two.
Just struggling to find a smile there, Travis, but I think we can maybe just get that out. I'm sure inside he's a bit happier than what he's shown there on his face, but yeah, absolutely. Doesn't want to give anything away to his opponents. But no, it's been a terrific morning of racing so far, and we've only got those two finals of those youngest swimmers to come. On 4 finals, in fact, across the 2 strokes. So.
Yeah, 2 lots of 50s for the boys and girls, 12 and under. Stomachly presenting the bronze medal there to Michael Flynn of Cumbernauld. A good swim there for Michael Flynn. Sean Craigmile just ahead of him in second. Jack Munsey, well, we thought the record might be on, that's how it proved. Kinross High School's Jack Munsey takes the Scottish Schools record and takes the title in the boys 15-16 years 200 backstroke.
Yeah, some more great swimming there again. We've seen so many swimmers this morning get their 2 events out the way. That's Michael Flynn's second event again of this morning. He was in the 400 freestyle in that first event of the programme, and that's 200 backstroke at the tail end. So 2 difficult events as well to get them in the same session, but really good to see high levels of performance, no matter whether it's 1 swim or 2 swims in the session.
Good swimming there from Jack Munsey to take that record. Another record goes. Swimmers just pretty much come out of the water straight onto the medal positions here. Alexander Harris stilling high in for that bronze medal position. Silver medalist Ryan Robertson from Glasgow School of Sport, but great swim there. That second 100 of the 200 backstroke. Keir Edgar from Dollar Academy taking that gold medal, taking the title in 209.56. Convincing win in the end.
Yeah, absolutely, and these boys have hardly had any time to get out the pool and get the presentations done. It's nice to see some big smiles, good camaraderie between the three boys there. They'll know each other really well. They all swim in the West, so it's some really good, strong racing. And as I said during commentary there, the Alexander and Ryan had to try and get out there early, knowing that Keir would come back strong in that second 100. But he showed his additional technical work on skills that got him there to make sure he came off that last wall to close out for the gold medal.
Breathing a bit heavy there, the medalists there. But we move on very swiftly to the medalists for the girls 50 metres backstroke to start us off with these 12 years and under. The positions we have: Helena Ronat from Broughton in line 0, Amber Edgerton from Cults Primary M1, Athena Pearce from Hull in 2, Susia Smith from St Mungo's in 3, 2 swimmers from Mearns Primary School, Heidi Wren and Talia Blackley in 4 and 5, Catherine Renfrew in 6 from Canoe, Eva Martin from St Matthews in 7, Chloe Merson from Carmondine in 8, and Hannah Wardle from Long Nidri Primary School in lane number 9. So, well, the young swimmers, all 12 years of age in this one length of the pool, and 2 men's swimmers there in the centre lanes, Heidi Wren and Talia Blackley. Could they have a 1 and 2 for the school?
Yeah, I'm sure the school are hoping that also. But just we've been speaking so much about records this morning, and you look at another name that's got the record for this event in a Katie Shanahan. That'll be a really tough record to get in 32.64, and we see. Well, I'm sure we'll see Katie later in the day, but certainly we will be hard pushed to try and take someone like Katie's record down.
Yeah, Katie Shanahan, a little bit older now. 3 years ago she set this record. She's gone on to set records in other age groups as well. We're right out to a good lead there. Heidi Wren from Mearns Primary School also going very well. Down in lane number 7 is Eva Martin from St Matthews. It's going to be very close. It looks like Heidi Wren might take this one, but Eva Martin coming in very well here in lane number 7. She might just sneak it. It is very close there. It is Eva Martin who takes it in 34.74. Well, that was a shock there. Ahead of Heidi Wren, 34.89, and Catherine Renfrew in 3rd spot. But what a swim there from lane number 7, Eva Martin.
Oh, absolutely terrific swim. I wouldn't have called that one at all before that there. Interesting to go back to see what time she did in the heats. Eva Martin 36.91, so to go and take another 2 seconds off in the final, that's what can happen in younger age group swimming. Although we're surprised, that in another sense it doesn't surprise me either.
Well, what a great swim there from lane number 7, Eva Martin, just showing you can win these races from absolutely anywhere. The boys now are on the starting blocks. Fraser McLaughlin, Lossiemouth in 0, Robbie Boyd from Edinburgh Academy in 1, Alex Cumming from Hamilton Grammar in 2, Zach Slater, Long Nidri in 3, Luke Scott from Noble Hill in lane number 4, Rory Webster from Fort Hill in 5, Ben Williamson, Compass School in 6, Cal Muirhead in 7 from James Young, Corey Phillip from Moorhead in 8, and Logan Jackson in 9 from Robert Gordon's.
This looks as if it's going to be a really tight one, Paul. Only that 1/100th that we had between the 2 boys in lanes 4 and 5 in the heats. But from that girls' event there, as long as you've got a lane, you've got an opportunity to go and win a medal there. So let's see what the rest of these boys can do. I'm sure this is going to be an absolute cracker of a race.
Scott was in lane number 2 in the heats. He came through very strongly. He's in the centre lane now. A little bit more pressure on Luke Scott from Noble Hill in lane number 4. It's very, very tight in the early stage. You see here Luke Scott in 4, in 3, maybe Zach Slater just edging it. Also Robbie Boyd going well up there in lane number 1. It is going to be really tough to call here. Zach Slater looking good in lane number 3. Luke Scott and Rory Webster side by side, but it could well be Zach Slater. Lane number 3 might just take this one. It is going to be very close indeed, and it is Zach Slater in 36.13. It's Rory Webster in second, and it's Corey Phillip in lane number 8 who takes the bronze medal.
Oh, another again absolutely terrific race. If we had to stop that at 45 metres there, we probably wouldn't have a clue who was going to win that. We probably couldn't call it right, but it just shows you those boys that were 1/100th apart in the heats. You've got to be able to step up and do that in the final as well. And what a terrific swim from all those boys there, making it a really tight contest.
Well, that was an amazing swim there. Corey Phillip coming right through at the bottom again in lane number 8. Again, another outside lane flyer there, getting himself into the medal positions.
Yeah, and again, it's about, if you've got a lane, you've got a chance. We said it before it, and it's just about getting up that and racing, and that's what these boys are doing so well. In fact, the girls as well. It's just terrific finals so far with 2 of them to go.
Well, we have a line up there for the 50 breaststroke here. Josh Elliott from Dean Park goes in 0. Andrew McCrane from Bridget-Weir in 1. Just Gringellis from Golfville in 2. Clinton from St Andrews in 3. Finn Bannerman from Bewlands in 4. Oliver Warner from Arduthy in 5. Callum MacArthur from Jordan Hill in 6. Mark Watchorn from Wallacewell in 7. Joe Sutherland from Cluny in 8. Lewis Brander in 9 from Barnhill. Length of the pool, 50 metres breaststroke. Again, as we've seen here, pretty even in the early stages here. Lane number 4, the top of those 2 yellow lane markers is Finn Bannerman from Viewlands. He was the fastest in here. He had a second advantage over the rest of the field. 2 lanes down, Callum MacArthur from Jordan Hill going well, and 2 lanes up it is Rogers Gringellis from Golfville also going well. Gringellis maybe just with the edge here, but Bannerman with that pink cap and Bewlands. It's going to be Gringellis and Bannerman. It might be Bannerman will take this one in 40.18. Gringellis in second and Mark Watchorn in third, but another cracking race there. Bannerman living up to the favourites billing, but only just.
Yeah, another great swim there, but we're just awaiting the result because there look to be a couple of very, very fast starts from the block, and it's just taking a little bit of time to confirm the result, so we'll wait to see that because I'm not sure how that affects. I can't remember whether it was through lane 6 or through lane 7.
Looks like lane 6. Yeah, we're seeing on our scoreboards we have lost Callum MacArthur to disqualification. Doesn't affect the top 3 though. It remains as Bannerman, Gringellis and Watchorn the top 3. Well, one more to go, Derek.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it again. And this is the one where we had the record in the 50s this morning, so we'll see if Ellen McPhee can try and take that record down a little bit further again. She obviously posted 36.57 that I called before it that would be a tough record to crack at 37.0 and taking half a second off it, so it's just about can you be able to go and race that again to such a high standard and take that time down a little bit further.
Well, we're about to find out. Katie Fisher-Keogh goes in 0, Hannah Smith in 1, Charlotte Hardy in 2, Gracie Goodall in 3, Ellen McPhee, the new record holder, in 4, Rebecca Cole in 5, Lottie Gilhooly in 6, Ellie Robertson in 7, Taylor Smith in 8, Cassie Whitebird goes in lane number 9, the final event of this Scottish School Swimming Championship 2019 first session.
Yeah, and delighted to see one of my own swimmers from my squad back at East Kilbride, Cassie Wiper, just slotting into that final there. Good experience for her.
Sensational 36.57 in the qualification. Can she improve that record time? Knocking half a second off that record. She's looking very impressive here as she's coming through to lead. Also going well, Zahara Smith from Kingsland Primary School and also Rebecca Cole in lane number 5. It is very close, but it is the new record holder, Ella McPhee, just with the edge now, coming into the last 10 metres now. Ella McPhee is going to take the title. What is the time going to be this time? It doesn't look like it's going to be a record, but it's going to be a win for Ellen McPhee. She takes it. The Calder head swimmer will take the gold medal. Rebecca Cole in second position, and in third place Sahara Smith. So it's a gold medal to follow up from that record-breaking performance. Ellen McPhee is the champion.
Yeah, and you can just see there for Ellen McPhee, although she closed that out for the gold medal, she was just a little bit shorter and snatching the water a little bit more. That makes her a little bit slower from the heats. But again, another terrific swim from Ellen McPhee.
Well, really good swimming there for Ellen McPhee. She's followed up that record-breaking swim from this morning, about a second away from that time she set this morning. She won't bother about that. Her name will be on the record books. Her name will, as the record breaker and as the champion. So it's a long-standing list of champions, Derek, and she's joining that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we've seen so many of these names that from previous years who have been in those 50s, then step up and are achieving in those bigger events as they progress through their school careers.
I don't know how long the schools championships go back from. Should have done our research on that. Duncan McKinnon will know, he probably remembers the first championship. We'll
make sure we ask Duncan that for anyone watching the live stream in session 2. Duncan will be your lead commentator on that, so we'll see if we can get Duncan to make comment on that for us, because he's the guru of all research in Scottish swimming, let's be honest.
Medalist for the 12 and under 50 patch shows Catherine Renfrew, the bronze medalist, Heidi Wren, the silver medalist, but the gold medalist from one of the outside, well, not quite the outside lane, but not one of the favourites when they came into it, but Eva Martin. Well, she absolutely delivered there in the final. She takes the gold. She's the Scottish Schools champion from St Matthews.
Yeah, absolutely terrific swim from Eva Martin, stepping up to the plate on that final there, coming from lane number 7, and you don't have to necessarily be in the mix right in those centre lanes, especially at those younger age groups when you can drop such big chunks of time.
Again, we saw a swimmer, one of those outside lanes as well, lane number 8 this time, from the Moorhead swimmer, Corey Phillip. This is the boys 12 and under 50 metres backstroke medalist, Corey Phillip, taking that bronze medal, just 11 years of age. He'll be back again next year in this age group potentially. Tony Webster from Fort Hill taking the silver, and Zach Slater, very good swim from Zach Slater from Longniddry. He takes the gold medal, 36.13 for Zach Slater. Corey Phillip, the youngest in this field and on the medal podium.
Yeah, absolutely, and he'll get he should get another shot at this again next year, so that's certainly one to look out for if he can be breaking into the medal positions a year young, especially in the 50s. It's quite a difficult thing to do.
The next boys presentation, Scott McLeay has performed very well this morning. He's been with us all morning making these medal presentations, so it's great to see that. The boys coming for the next set of presentations here. It's the 50 metres breaststroke, not too long out of the water for these three. Bronze medalist from Wallacewell, Mark Watchorn, winning that very close contest between 3 swimmers for the bronze medal position. Roger Krangelis really challenged for the lead, couldn't quite pull back the deficit. The champion, Finn Bannerman from Viewlands, was the favourite coming into this. He held his nerve, a great swim in the final, and he takes the gold medal in the boys 12 and under 50 metres breaststroke.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's one of those ones that the boys and the girls at these younger age groups, we seem to be going a little bit slower in the final, but sometimes that's okay. It's about getting in and just racing in the final for those positions, and actually being able to cope with that pressure of stepping up to a national final, and it gives them really good experience for as they progress, whether they make national age groups this year or whether that's next year and they'll get another go at the schools next year again at national events. But certainly giving them good experience in this facility sets them up for the future.
The final presentation of the morning, the girls 12 and under 50 metres breaststroke, Kingsland Primary School, Sahara Smith. sneaking in for that bronze medal. She'll be pleased with that performance. Rebecca Cole from Mackinhill taking the silver medal. The swimmer who set a new record this morning in the heat. She's followed that up with a gold medal performance tonight from Calderhead. It's Ellen McPhee. 37.10. She won it by a long way in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. A comfortable swim, but it probably wouldn't be comfortable for her. But again, you get that record in the heat, and then it's just about racing to make sure you can secure the gold medal for the final.
Up three, very happy medalists there. Ellen McPhee will be delighted with her morning's work. Gold medal and a new Scottish Schools record. Not a bad morning's work at all. A great first session though, Derek. It was 7 records we make it if our maths is correct. So a great start.
Oh,
Still
yeah.
got 2 more sessions to come.
Yeah, it's been absolutely terrific this morning, and certainly setting the tone for a positive meet throughout the whole day. So many swimmers stepping up and creating terrific performances from the regional heats onto these schools finals, and certainly it's more been about just the close racing and having the opportunity to go and race against people of your own age that you don't see that often.
Yeah, we've seen some cracking performances here in terms of close races, as you said, record-breaking performances. We've seen it all, and that is only session 1. As you can see now, the event are finished. We'll go away and enjoying your lunch and coming back and joining us just after 1 o'clock for the second session, which kicks off here on the live stream. Swimming starts at 1:15, so we'll be on air just after 1 o'clock today, so make sure you join us on this live stream. I've been Paul Noble this morning, and thank you very much for Derek McGowan for your company this morning. And a big thank you again to our sponsors, Brodies LLP, and we hope you can join Duncan McConnell and the North Ayrshire coach, Jess Wilkie, this afternoon. So enjoy your lunch and join us again just after 1 o'clock, and have a good afternoon.